is a recording to show you how a student can save their progress and print a ABC midterm or final. You can do this process for either one of the midterm or final in an ABC course. They are set up to be taken 3 times. If a student wants to retake a midterm and final, they would need to do this process again when they start their new attempt. So for example, if I do attempt 1 and I score a 45% and I want to try again to get my 60%, when I go to do my attempt number 2, then I'm going to do this process again because attempt number 2 is going to be a different assessment than attempt number 1. And we did that on purpose to make sure that students are following instructions and learning the content versus just copying answers. So here's how you do it. I'm in as my test student right now. And so I'm in World History, and I'm going to go down. I'm in the World History Midterm Semester 1 Final. And then down here's the Start button. When I want to start my attempt, I click Start. And that will begin my attempt. Now once it begins and it shows me my questions, I can do one of 2 things. If I come down next to the Submit button and there's a little arrow right here, I click on that, I can save my attempt and it will save my progress so that when I come back to that particular attempt, I can continue with it. So I can hit continue, it'll open the same assessment, and now I can go through and I can begin to answer my questions. And as I answer my questions, if I get to a place where I need to save my answers again, then I come back down to this arrow and I say save and exit, and it's saving. As long as I do not hit the submit button, it will save those answers as many times as I need to. Now you'll see when I go back in to continue again, it's going to reopen and here are my saved answers. I can change an answer if I've changed my mind about an answer, so it doesn't lock in those answers, it just saves the status of those answers. I can continue on to answer questions, and then I can click on the arrow and save my answers. So I can do this any number of times as I go through as a student to take this assessment. If I want to print this assessment, then I would go into my attempt, I hit continue, and then you can see right down here is a little print button. So I hit that print button, and this is going to print this attempt. And you notice it's printing my saved answers. So you can print this at the beginning to have a blank assessment to go through and use as a study guide and find the answers. Or you can print it after you've completed the answers, save your attempt, and then look them up and check your answers to make sure they're correct. However you want to do that. You can see that these answers are not filled in because I have not completed this portion of the assessment yet. But if I go back up here where I was working, here, you can see my answers have been logged in here in this particular print job. Now when I'm ready to print this, I would hit my Control P or Option P, depending on your computer. If you want to print it to a printer, you can do that. What I recommend is that you save it as a PDF. Most browsers, certainly Chrome and most printer windows, will allow you to save this as a PDF. So I would choose to save this as a PDF and then save it on my desktop. Once I do that, I can either continue on or close it. Now I'm going to go through and complete my exam. Now that I've finished my exam, I'm going to submit it. If I need to one more time, I can save and exit and save my answers again. But now I'm ready to submit, so now I'm going to submit my answers. Keep in mind, when I submit this attempt is complete. I will not be able to go back and retry this or do it again. And if I start a second attempt, it's going to be a brand new assessment. And then it gives me my score. I scored at 20%. Not so great. If I want to retake it, I can start that retake right now. This will start a new attempt and a new assessment. And again, I can go down, I can save and exit this attempt. Notice My previous score still displays here because that's currently the score that's in the gradebook until I replace it with a new score. Because I've saved my attempt, I go down and you see the continue button. When I open continue, my new attempt, number 2, has started, and here's the assessment for that attempt. It may look very similar, and some of the questions may be very similar, but be sure to read the questions and the answers because they do change. I hope this helps you understand how to print and access the midterms and finals.